Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al. We're going to take a look back at everything that happened on DraftKings in week 12. I hope that you guys had yourselves a really good week. Every single week I go over the players that I wrote up in Best Buys. We're going to take a look at that and go player by player, see where I was right, where I was wrong, see where we smashed, see where I took an L. We're going to take a look at my 3 lineups that I build and put into high stakes. We're going to take a look at the Millionaire Maker. With the 150 lineups that I build, take a look over at FanDuel, at the bomb over there. See how we did there. There's usually also a cage match that we're going to go over the results for, and we're going to try and dig into a little bit of the why on this video. It's a great way to look back at what happened and maybe try and learn something moving forward so that we can make better decisions in our daily fantasy process on a week-to-week basis. Thank you guys for being here on the second channel. I do appreciate it. Make sure that you drop a like on the channel or on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, leave a reply. Anything that you click really helps out the channel. And this is just my second channel. This is something that we just kind of have for overload off the first to keep the first channel from kind of choking itself up. So thank you guys for coming from that channel over to this one and every week watching this recap video. I think it's an important part of my process, and I hope that you would work it into yours as well, because looking back at what you did, learning where you're good, learning where you're bad, and taking kind of a Sun Tzu Art of War approach to things, where you're good, do that more, where you're bad, retreat, will help you be more profitable in daily fantasy. So let's go over and take a look at ESPN at my Best Buys column. This comes out every single Thursday. I'm going to try and do a better job of updating this as the week goes on moving forward, because 2020 is just kind of insane. And last week, Thursday of Thanksgiving Day, kind of truncating my week. Usually I write this article and I turn it in end of day Wednesday. I turn it in like 7 p.m. Wednesday Pacific time. So I've got a lot of time to kind of take in value and news and everything else. Like, this was done on Tuesday, and there's nobody in the office, so there were no updates this week. So I'll try and do a better job as the season goes on, and maybe updating things on Friday night after practice reports come out. Thank you guys for reading this article, by the way. So Kyler Murray was the high dollar guy early in the week that I was very interested in. He did not post a good day. I said in the first thing, we're going to have to monitor that AC joint as the week progresses. And by Friday, if you watch the lineup builder show, he was somebody that I was really trying to get away from, because if he wasn't going to run, we detailed this in long form on the Friday lineup builder show on the main channel, that he was somebody that I was not really expecting to have access to a ceiling, because the 7, 8, 9 points a game that he was getting us on the ground, plus the touchdown expectation on the ground, plus the fact that he could actually challenge downfield, were things that added to Kyler Murray being a great play. He was not. 8.9 points, 23 of 34 for 170 and no touchdowns. He has not been outstanding through the air this year. He just hasn't. He's been fine, but not thrilling. On the ground, though, is where he shined, getting you a touchdown pretty much every single week and running the ball between 8 and 12 times pretty much every week for 60 to 80 yards. 5 rushes for 31 yards. When he did run, and he did not run all that often, there were no designed runs for him in this game, he was sliding pretty early. He'd get out of the pocket. Nope, not taking a hit. So he is very aware, or these coaches are very aware of the problem with his shoulder right now. And they're going to try and minimize the amount of hits that he takes and the danger that they're going to put him in, because without him, they're toast. So they know that they need to keep him on the field. This is a problem for us moving forward with Kyler Murray. Even if he gets over it, are they going to go back to the same aggressive running style that they had with him, freewheeling style that allowed him to be like a 30 point per game guy? If he's just a 19 to 22 point per game guy at 8,000 or more every single week on DraftKings, kind of scary. So I'll take an L here if you want me to. We pivoted more towards Patrick Mahomes by the end of the week, and I hope that you guys did too, because that double stack, or that stack and double stack, completely smashed. The other side of it was Tom Brady, 27 of 41, 345, 3 touchdowns, 26.7 points. He was a smash play. Josh Allen did not get there for us, 18 of 24 for 157 and 1 touchdown, ran the ball 9 times for 32 and a touchdown on the ground, ending with 17.5 points. He was fine, didn't kill you, wasn't great, whatever, it's just meh, and his receivers didn't do well. So like, if you had Josh Allen, it just didn't work out for you this week. But like, it wasn't, if you had him in cash, clearly didn't kill you. Derek Carr did kill you if you played him. Big mistake here. Not on process, just sometimes the result doesn't work out the way that you want. 4 freaking turnovers. He fumbled the ball 3 times, just continually subtracting points, as the Atlanta Falcons defense was the #1 defense on the week. if you went that direction against, you know, the Ace Rothstein spot, right? The West Coast team traveling east to play an early game. 215 yards, no touchdowns, 4 turnovers, 4.6 DraftKings points. I'll take an L here. It's fine. Dalvin Cook. I did not see the Dalvin Cook snowflake game coming, not from a mile away. His lowest output in the last 2 months. Ran the ball 18 times, did catch 4 passes, so he got you over 20 touches, but was completely inefficient on the ground, running for only 61 yards, only 21 yards through the air, and did not get a touchdown or inside the 5 carries or any of it. For 9.5K, 11.2 points is not enough. Unfortunate. If you went that direction, I had a lot of him, which really held me down. It was an anchor holding my lineups down that were doing well. Gave me less paths to being profitable this week. James Robinson was an absolute smash play against the Browns. 22 carries, 128 and a touchdown, 5 catches, 6 targets, 31 yards, 29.9 DraftKings points. We're taking that every day of the week for 6,300. Austin Eckler. I felt he was going to play all week. He said he was going to play all week on every social media channel that he was on. He was screaming at you that he was going to play. And he came off the IR on Sunday and had a ridiculous day from fantasy purposes, even though the Chargers looked like their coaching staff had no idea what they were doing from a play calling perspective for the entirety of this game. Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 44 yards, 11 catches on 16 targets, which is not ideal. It's ideal if you rostered him this week. It's not ideal for that offense moving forward. 85 yards through the air, 23.9 points without a touchdown scored. Todd Gurley got injured. This is what I was talking about. I should probably be updating this stuff, so apologies if you read the article and there was no update here. Brian Hill was where most people pivoted, and Brian Hill chalk week just has never worked out for us. I had a lot of him. 13 carries, 55 yards, 5.5 DraftKings points, no catches on 1 target. And the judge, Ito, scores a touchdown late in the game, also got 12 carries. I'm very happy for Judge Ito that he scored a touchdown, and his whole family too. Not at all tilted that Brian Hill didn't score a touchdown there to kind of bail us out. So whatever. Antonio Brown was a miss, 3 targets in a game where they were throwing it a ton. 41 attempts for Tom Brady. Only 3 of those went towards Antonio Brown. AB can't be too happy about that. Only 2 catches, 11 yards, 3.1 DraftKings points. That was a miss. Devontae Parker, I liked him last week. I liked him more if Tua was out, and Tua was out. 14 targets for Devontae Parker for 5,900. We'll take that every day of the week. Did not catch a touchdown, caught 8 balls for 119, so got you the bonus on DraftKings. 22.9 points. Absolute smash. Cooper Kupp was a miss. 2 catches, 5 targets, 41 yards. All the targets went towards Robert Woods yesterday. 6.1 DraftKings points. Just a weird game all around. Justin Jefferson, as predicted, was going to be one of the more chalky plays on the week. As expected, he delivered when chalk attacks. 13 targets, caught 7 of them, 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hit pay dirt twice for us. 26 DraftKings points. Sterling Shepard, unfortunate that Daniel Jones got hurt in this game. Colt McCoy is like meh. I don't want to insult Colt McCoy. Like, he's not a great quarterback. We know that. I'm not insulting the man. I'm just saying from a fantasy perspective. Sterling Shepard did have 7 catches on 8 targets for 64 yards, 13.8 DraftKings points. He's fine. Travis Kelce, 16.2 DraftKings point, caught all 8 balls that were thrown his way for 82 yards, but no touchdowns, no bonus. 16.2 DraftKings points. Fine. Not thrilling, but fine. Darren Waller was a miss, a weird miss. That whole Raiders offense just, what the hell went on yesterday? 4 catches on only 7 targets for 23 yards, 6.3 DraftKings points. Did draw a couple of pass interference penalties, so it could have been a little bit better, but like for 6K, you're 1xing your salary. That's no good. Hunter Henry saw 10 targets, caught 7 of them, 67 yards, 13.7 DraftKings points. We'll definitely take that. The defenses, the Rams were my high dollar defense on the week. They had 15 points. The Giants had 9, and I don't have the Chargers on my sheet because I'm a bad streamer. Taking a look at the lineups that I had, these 3 right here were my 3 hand-built lineups that I used in high-stakes tournaments, the $101 Millionaire Maker and whatever else. I did not have Derrick Henry this week. We talked about that on the Anti-Tinkercast. There's a longer discussion to be had. We talked about it on Twitch. before I started recording this episode. It's one of the principles that I talk about a lot. And it might be something that I missed yesterday with Derrick Henry being about expected at sub 10%. I think he was 14 on FanDuel and 7 on DraftKings. If you project that he's going to have 25 points, whatever percent of the time you think he's going to get 25 or more DraftKings or FanDuel points, and you see that his roster number is going to be 7%, and you think it's going to be like 15% chance he gets you 130 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the field isn't going to be on him that much, he's going to exceed expectations. Get to that point total you need for him to be satisfiable for you in tournaments, and the field's going to be on half of that. You kind of have to play him and possibly overweight the field on him. I did not do that. As you can see, I did have basically double stacks of Patrick Mahomes in every lineup that I had Patrick Mahomes in, and 100% of those lineups had Tyreek Hill in them. So any of my Mahomes lineups did well yesterday, even though there were a lot of misses in this one. Nyheim Hines popped as a fantastic value play yesterday because late in the week we had Taylor go on IR. Antonio Brown did nothing in this lineup. You can see most of these players are straight out of Best Buys in my 3. One of them cashed because too many misses here. Cole and Brown, and then the Josh Allen lineup, I had Diggs, but did not have the value on them because I stacked Grant with Mims. So every one of these has a stack and a bring back and a secondary stack in them. That's where that went. As far as my best tournament lineups went, I had no Henry, so I did not reach up all the way to the top of the leaderboard. But again, the Mahomes stacks led the day with Mahomes, Gallman, Hines, stacking up the premium stacks like we talked about in the top stacks video with Mahomes, and every Mahomes lineup had a double stack and a bring back from the Buccaneers passing game. Mahomes to Hill, Godwin, Landry, Cole Sr. was here instead of this lineup just didn't happen to have a path to him. The Patriots defense didn't do great. This one, again, another Mahomes stack. This one with Hill, another Mahomes stack. This with Breida. Breida did not pan out either. We're going to have to see what happens with that Miami Dolphins backfield moving forward, because if Salvon Ahmed is still out, we're going to have to get some idea of whether or not Gaskin is going to come back. We'll talk about that in the first look video. But basically, all of my top scoring lineups were essentially Patrick Mahomes stacks. And I think I had about 15% Patrick Mahomes stacks. Going over to FanDuel in the 400K bomb. Big white screen. Same situation. All the top lineups that I had were essentially Patrick Mahomes. James Robinson I had a ton of. Only 15% of the field on him, so it was very easy to overweight yesterday. Gallman did not quite get you to 100 yards. That's disappointing on DraftKings. Justin Jefferson, Sammy Watkins, Gronkowski, Tyreek Hill. There was always some bust in these lineups this week. The top of the leaderboard in this tournament was Chipotle Addict. He had Kirk Cousins, who had just another good day for Kirk Cousins, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, as a one-off in this spot. So just kind of attack the value spots in these games. Kirk Cousins with the Derrick Henry, AJ Brown with no quarterback attached to him. So 2 players without a quarterback and one of them not at all attached. Just saying, look, I think that both of these guys can do well without needing their quarterback to do well, because they get enough volume to get there, and AJ Brown got there on basically one play at only 3%. So an easy way to leverage a field. Things that we talked about every single week. What chance does AJ Brown have to have a 20-point fantasy day? If you think it's greater than 3% and the field is going to have about 3%, that's somebody you need to think about overweighting the field, especially in large field tournaments. You can do it with great players. You don't have to do it with bad players. Find your way to the top of the leaderboard. And I wish you the best of luck. Look out for another video right here.
He's a legend.